We are just now leaving Kennedy Meadows. Got full pack, full of all of our new gear, micro spikes, ice axe, bear can, and warmer clothes. I've heard that you really don't even need the ice axe. This snow has just been melting super quick, but we're bringing them just in case. Just heading up to the mountains now. Super excited. So we have officially left the desert, but we have not left the heat. Still really hot. Look like I got pretty sunburned. Oops. But still using my umbrella, so I'm glad that I didn't send it home. I couldn't really from Kennedy Meadows. They didn't have a big enough box, but now I'm glad that I couldn't because it's making a little bit of a difference. Day out of Kennedy Meadows. Camp for the night is next to the river. It's really nice. I'm excited to be camping next to water sources and having more access to water. It is Wednesday, June 20th, and we woke up kind of late this morning. I didn't feel good, so we slept in, but so did everybody else at camp, so I'm guessing people just know they don't have to wake up as early now because we're in higher elevation, so it's not going to be as hot. Still in the 80s, I think, right now. I think we're at about 9,000 feet, but definitely not as bad as desert hiking. We're going up to like 10,500 feet today, and then I think we're camping just below that. Just taking a little lunch break. I'm having a bacon pita. What are you having?
A tuna salad.
A tuna salad pita. Pitas are a really good choice to pack out. About 5 o'clock on June 20th. We've been going downhill for about 4 miles, but we're going to start an uphill climb again in a little bit. And we were planning only to go a tiny bit up the uphill since the previous uphill today was pretty long. But now we might try to climb the whole thing. Don't know yet. We'll see how we feel. How exposed the climb is and if there's shade, but we're trying to get as close to Lone Pine, or the exit point to Lone Pine, as possible, because we want to get there early in the day, hopefully to score a hitch. Just the more miles we have to do tomorrow, the later we get in, the less likely we are to get a ride, because the place we're hitching out of is like just a campground or something. It's not a very easy hitch. Hopefully we get one quickly because we just want to get in and out of Lone Pine. We just need a box from the post office and some food, but we'll see how this all plays out. We made it to camp just in time for sunset. We have a beautiful camp spot tonight. Definitely tell we're not in the desert anymore. Way more alpine, a lot more trees, and we are loving it. It's awesome. eating some breakfast. About to get the show on the road this morning. Fish.
Small fish. To the parking lot. Split cord. Put the skins on. I travel up. Get to the top.
We have made it in and out of Lone Pine. Hitching was not very difficult at all, actually. It was pretty easy. We had a ride within like a couple minutes of getting to the trailhead, and the hitch out was actually not that bad either. We ended up just calling the trail angel and paying for a ride back up to the trailhead. It's like about a 45-minute drive. Stop making funny faces at me. And I think we gain about 8,000 or so feet from Lone Pine up to where we started hiking again. And right now I think we're above 11,000. But anyways, we are at a beautiful lake called Chicken Spring Lake right now. And it is the first real alpine lake we've seen on trail. And it's absolutely beautiful. And also packed because it's a Friday evening and everybody came here to go backpacking. This is camp for the evening. We decided just to stay at Chicken Spring Lake because it was too beautiful to leave. So we only did about 4 miles out of Lone Pine, but it doesn't even matter because we'll still be at Whitney on the same day as we had planned originally. So yeah, we just entered Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks, and we're at 11,320 feet. Last night, I think we were about, or this morning, I think we were about 11,500, so that's the highest elevation I've been at. But yeah, today we're going to Crabtree Meadows, which is the place where most people start their summit of Mount Whitney, and tomorrow, or early morning, like 1 or 2 a.m., I think we're going to do a sunrise summit. We'll start the trek up to Whitney, so that's pretty exciting. It feels like we're in the real Sierra backcountry now. We are just about to go across our first actual river crossing on the trail, but apparently there is like a bridge over it, or a log bridge, so it shouldn't be too intense. I think we're gonna be getting pretty lucky this year because last year the rivers were all super big and raging and hard to cross, just because it was such a high snow year, but there's barely any snow up in the Sierra right now, so I think we got pretty lucky with timing and snow this year. Down there is Crabtree Meadows, and tomorrow we're heading up there, and in the middle of those two kind of bumps is Mount Whitney, and it's so looks huge from here. Super steep. You could see the trail just like traversing over the rocks. Kind of intimidating, but I think it's gonna be awesome. It is currently about 3 o'clock in the morning.
and we are a little bit into our Mount Whitney summit attempt hike. We're hoping to get up there before sunrise, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. It's very cold though, so I'm going to keep moving. We are above 13,000 feet, and it's not enough oxygen, but we also obviously didn't make it in time for sunrise to the top. That's okay, we've still got a pretty nice view here. But I'm struggling and very out of breath. And I still have, I think, 2.5-ish miles to go or so, and we're going like at a speed of 1 mile per hour or less, so it's still gonna take a while. There is a tent down there. They have like the most amazing sight ever next to that rocky lake. So beautiful. Snow. We made it to the top of Mount Whitney. There's a summit shelter, which, funny enough, is full of snow for some reason. The views are awesome. Little marmots. Whew, we just made it back from climbing Mount Whitney, and I think it took us, we woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning, but we probably didn't leave till around 1:45 or 2, and we got back around noon, so we were gone for a long time. It took us like 5.5 hours to get up. I was really struggling. Couldn't breathe very well, and then I got a really bad headache at the top, just from the elevation. It's 14,500 feet at the top, and I started to feel the effects of the elevation around like 12,000 feet, so it was a struggle, but it was amazing and super beautiful. And yeah, lots of people out there today because it was it's a Sunday, so lots of other people that aren't on the PCT just hiking it for the day. But now we're gonna take a nap and catch up on some sleep since we only got about 3 or 4 hours. I'm exhausted. It is the morning after climbing Mount Whitney. The plan for today is to go about 12.5 miles to the base of, whoa, got stuck on a log, to the base of Forester Pass, which is the highest point on the actual PCT. Whitney was higher, but Mount Whitney is actually not a part of the PCT. So yesterday when we climbed Whitney, we were doing a side trail. So technically we did 0 miles of the actual PCT yesterday, even though we did 16 miles total. But
yeah, 12.5 miles to the base of Forester Pass, so we can get up it tomorrow morning when the snow's still crunchy. Otherwise, you post hole a lot and it's really hard to move and make miles. So it shouldn't be too hard of a day today. We just have a couple of stream crossings that are about knee deep, so that'll be interesting. We haven't really done any that we haven't had to like just hop rocks over, so we'll see how that goes. This is probably the most beautiful section of trail we've had yet. We're about 2 or less than 2 miles away from camp for the night, and we're gonna be up high over 12,000 feet, so it's gonna be chilly. So we got to the junction for Forester Pass, which is where we were going to camp for the night. But it was only 4:30 and the top of Forester Pass is only a mile away. And then you drop down in elevation really quickly afterwards. And we would have rather slept at 11,200 feet than 12,500. So that's where we just came from down there. And this is the actual... Oh my god. Stop! Okay, that's the Forester Pass. That usually has a ton of snow all the way down into the chute, but there's like absolutely none. So actually kind of disappointed, because I mean there's a lot of excitement and nervousness for really nothing. But yeah, we're about one switchback away from the tippy top. 13,200 feet, the highest point on the actual PCT. And there's like absolutely no snow. Maybe like 100 feet you have to walk through down there, which is crazy. Last year, this whole entire valley would have been just covered in snow. We got pretty lucky. Made it to camp for the evening. It's like a tent village. Lots of spots, but we're the only ones here. We are making our way to Kearsarge Pass today, which is not a part of the PCT. We're taking the pass to get out and into a town called Bishop, and it's actually like a 9-mile side trail, so not everybody takes it, but if you don't, the resupply is pretty long. Plus we have some stuff waiting for us. Nick got a fly fishing pole and a new battery bank for the longer stretch to charge his phone. But yeah, apparently the pass is pretty challenging and steep. I just hope it doesn't take us too long and it's not too hard to get a hitch, because it's like, it is a Monday, so not a lot of people will probably be day hiking today. But we'll see. We made it up and over Kearsarge Pass, and we're about probably less than a mile away from the trailhead now, where we're gonna hitch a ride into Bishop. But we may actually have found a ride already from someone at the top who was also coming back down, and gave us peanut butter and jellies and said that if we were still waiting for a ride by the time she got down, she anticipated she would be going a little slower than us, that she would give us a ride all the way to Bishop, which is awesome. So I can see the trailhead. Well, I could just a second ago. So the motivation to be in town has started. And at this point, all I think about is real food and a real bed, and how amazing that sounds and it makes me go a little bit faster. So, we're almost there.